welcome to the Irresistible Marketing Pod, the podcast that combats boring marketing and blah business advice one scandalous, iconic example or story at a time. I'm your host, Isa Gauchi, your marketing confidence cheerleader and owner of the Isa Messaging digital marketing agency. Today we're going to talk about fun as a marketing strategy. Because some of y'all aren't having nearly enough fun in your content. Views are low, likes, comments, shares are low. Maybe your DMs are dead quiet. No one brings up something you posted that got them thinking in casual conversation, but you don't get it because you've been posting consistently. You even have participated in a few of those post every day for 30 days challenges. You may have done a little dance in the background. You may have snatched trending audios. You have really seriously tried. And it's just not fair. You're putting in so much effort. So what gives? Why hasn't it taken off yet? But are you having any fun? And yes, that was my attempt at an Elaine Stritch voice. Don't judge me. But the question is, are you having any fun? Have you been having fun in your marketing? Or are you turning your own business into yet another oppressive work environment? And tell me, would you rather treat your marketing like a factory with quotas and clock-ins and rigid expectations and a manager you can't freaking stand because they're micromanaging you and you're never doing it right, you're never doing enough, you're never good enough, you never get praised? Or would you like to treat your marketing like an art project where you get to play, experiment, follow your creativity, and even get messy? And which marketing between these two options do you think is more fun to consume? So, I had the discovery recently, sounds very novel, but it was for me actually, that my favorite content is fun content. And to be honest, fun is actually way more important than I realized. It was actually pretty downplayed when I was growing up because it was drilled into me that I should put my focus on much more serious pursuits to pave the way for my future. But fun is kind of the whole point. Like, who wants to work for a future without any fun in it? Like, really? Classically, I realized the importance of fun through, well, what else for me but nerdy research. So here's what went down. This October, the Squad, which is my club for big-hearted black sheep or rebel entrepreneurs, voted on crafting a content signature as the topic for our monthly marketing masterclass. And as I prepared for class, I started to gather examples of strong signature content, as one does. So I was looking for scroll-stopping content, the kind that you instantly recognize and know you're going to love or even love to hate watch. And it was pretty easy to find examples of this. I could pull them easily off of the very top of my head and the very top of my social media algorithms. And it was soon very clear and plain, the common thread, tying it all together. The examples I had pulled were all fun, super easy to consume, repetitive, and so branded you knew who made that content within microseconds. So again, fun, easy, repetitive, branded. So let's talk through a few fun examples of this. So there are the goddess boys in their fabulous black and white couture, gasping in annoyance, constructing incredible drinks with glares and face while protecting the glam, cleaning every speck of dust, and dusting each other with makeup, then melting into gracious giggles and putting in a third straw for the audience to enjoy the finished product with them. It's so fun. It's so them. They're such glamazons. They're so charming. I love when the one wearing white gasps and opens the umbrella before the other one does something messy. I love how they're serving face when they clean off the counter perfectly. It's just, I know I'm always going to watch the video when it comes across one of my social media feeds. And it's just, it's beauty, it's humor, it's cute, it's relationship goals, it's all you could want at once. And so those millions of likes they've racked up and brand deals with the likes of Ulta Beauty and Base, just they make perfect sense. Of course, it's such a fit. And if you want to see links to these awesome folks we're talking about and some of the videos they make, go ahead and scroll down to the show notes in whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on, and you can go click on the link for the blog post, which will take you over there and link you to these creators and the content examples that we're talking about. Next up, there's the lesbian pop princess Chrissy Schlepeka. Apologies if I'm messing up that last name. And she's fabulous. She's the moment. She's in aggressive pink, singing about the joys of being with women and vanquishing homophobes in high glam and high humor. She won me over by twerking to the rantings and ravings of homophobic protesters at a Pride event. She stole my heart prancing around with a sloppily handwritten future pop star sign. She had me roaring with her hilarious responses to troll comments. My absolute fave is when she screams that she's not wearing any makeup in full glam with massive lashes in response to criticism about the full beat. So now I'm staying for her fun pop songs that I've added to every Up Energy playlist of mine, and it just makes complete and total sense, those millions of streams of her songs, the drag queen collabs, and the major media write-ups, all so well earned. Also, another example of I know what I'm going to get or some variation of it, and I can't wait to see. All right, next on the top of my mind was Francesca Ramsey. She's the TV writer slash actress slash producer slash comedian who's been trolling MAGAs in the best way. She's stitching videos of anguished Trump voters who somehow never anticipated Trump would turn on them. And in response, Ramsey is there to sing variations of, I never thought the leopards would eat my face. Well, we bonded over bigotry, but they weren't supposed to turn on me. No, I never thought the leopards would eat my face. And, of course, she sings it much more beautifully. She has an incredible voice. It's always lovely to hear her sing. She's singing it solo. She's singing it while playing the ukulele. She's singing it with a full freaking gospel choir. Then she's singing it with a mariachi band. Every time it keeps getting more and more epic, and I can't wait to watch and be delighted in a new way, even though I know somewhat of what to expect when I see one of those videos pop up on my screen. And you know that content is monetized because she is getting views, she is getting engagement, and the best part is every time I watch, but also every time a troll watches, as she's pointed out, it adds to her bank account. And of course, she also has a full, oh, the leopards ate your face merch line, and I love to see it. So next up, we're going to talk about an example from LinkedIn, of all places, where my current favorite person to follow is Leah Vernon. In her own words from her website, Leah V is an international plus-size hijabi model, award-winning author, inclusive content creator, body-positive activist, and digital brand strategist. Her content has garnered over 4 million views combined and her face plastered on billboards in Times Square. She's been featured in hundreds of media outlets from the New York Times to BuzzFeed. And I love this woman's content. It is such a joy to see. Her content just blasts through the boring beige professional norm of LinkedIn posts with her humor, her spicy takes, and her catchphrases. Ashy is how she refers to those she does not like, from the rude client trying to get out of paying fairly to bigots in the news. And to be honest, I think we're all striving for Leah to deem us as moisturized for our standout content and for walking the talk of our values. Like, that would be the day Leah Vernon was to refer to me as moisturized, I would be so happy. But anyway, she ends each one of her posts with a variation of "Have you hired a black woman today?" and "Skitters away like a lizard" is her classic sign off. And once you've been following her for a while, you're going to be excited to read her creative variations on these satisfying repetitions. So if you become a Leah Vernon fan like me, you're going to come for the branding and content advice, and then you're going to stay for the absurd and hilariously inappropriate LinkedIn After Dark posts about, well, let's just say suggestive product marketing, whether or not it was intentional. Next up, we're going to shout out Nara Smith, even though I am very nervous about and suspicious of tradwife/tradwife adjacent content. I still can't wait to see what elaborate couture Nara Smith is going to be wearing while making a ridiculously, absurdly complicated from scratch rendition of a grocery store staple like Cheez-Its or Fruit Roll-Ups, which always invariably her toddlers are begging for, so she prepares it over the course of like 8 hours or so. And the videos are beautifully shot. She's high fashion. She's gorgeous. The jawline, the styling, and it's over soft, elegant jazz. I'm not gonna lie. I still like to watch it. It's fun for my eyeballs and aesthetic sensibilities, and it is so distinctly her that it has spawned so many hilarious spoofs. I think my favorite is a creator named Hanasaur. Cracks me up every time. But anyhow, it's so distinct. It's so signature Nara Smith. Like, you know the style. You know it's her when you see it. It's no wonder she's a gajillionaire and has like a crap load of brand deals. And to tie a bow on all of these examples, they're all of strong signature content that are repeating fun, enjoyable elements over and over again to the extent they become a brand, something that is instantly recognizable, that is so clear and distinct, you could spoof it and know who's being spoofed. Now, the thing about it, though, the thing that really stands out to me is that we can't just be repeating anything. It has to be fun. It has to be, because from the audience's perspective, from potential clients' perspective, for my service providers out there, why engage with content without pleasure if there is no emotional payoff for paying attention to content? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you have to be a glamazon, have an incredible voice, or a hilarious biting wit, but there has to be some sort of pleasure to experiencing your content. Now, before you start freaking out, let me remind you that pleasure comes in many forms. So don't go thinking I'm telling you to contort and mask yourself into something you're not. Like, let's talk through a few different types of pleasure, a few different ways content can please your audience, and I bet you'll find several that feel like something you could do, that you could start infusing your marketing with more. So one way to make it fun is to make them laugh, because that release, the endorphins that come with a good laugh, is just such a wonderful feeling. And of course, your audience is going to want more where that came from. Like, we all love to laugh. More of that, please. Number 2, give them something beautiful to behold. You know, that aesthetic, that only beauty can provide. It's like a little brain massage. It just lights up your life, puts on those rose-colored glasses. It just, beauty benefits us. Not necessarily like influencer face, like, yeah, rock out with your makeup, rock out with your gorgeous angles, but it can also be like a beautiful thought, a beautiful poem, a beautiful scenery, a beautiful experience. Beauty comes in many forms too. Number 3, acknowledgement. Because That moment when someone says, I feel so seen, it's such an instant bonding experience, especially if you're speaking to issues, experiences, or identities that are often overlooked, that don't often see themselves reflected or celebrated in marketing. Like, that's so powerful when those people get the spotlight, get the attention. That's that's fun. That's fun. And so is inclusion, that you can sit with us. You're invited, because it's so fun to get to be part of the club, to be specifically invited and welcomed in, especially when you've been historically left out. But to belong, that feels so nice. Like, no wonder fan clubs built around brands go so far as to incorporate that fandom into their identities. Like, think of Lady Gaga's Little Monsters, or the Swifties, or the Beehive, or Giggly Squad listeners identifying as gigglers, etc. Like, when you get to the place where you're such a fan, you're so into the brand, you're identifying yourself that way, you've added it into your identity, and then you meet another little monster, like, instant bonding, you're instantly going to be friends, you instantly are going to have stuff to talk about. Like, that's fun. That's fun. All right. Number 5 is aspiration. What if you open up the doors of their imagination and let them imagine something that they never thought of before as being possible for them? Like this really cool thing / lifestyle or achievement / way of being. This is open to you. You could have this. You can transcend the stuff about your life that you don't like. That's a good feeling. That's a good feeling, to get unstuck, to have your mind opened to new and better possibilities. Number 6, how about some inspiration, right? Inspiration is fun. Like, have you ever seen a piece of content and just been suddenly infused with ideas for something you want to do? Like, suddenly you've got motivation, you're inspired, you've got some momentum, you've got some gas in your tank. Like, that's fun. Getting inspired is fun. Getting out of a creative block is fun. Tapping into your creativity is fun. All right. Number 7, hope. Wow, I could feel so much better. I didn't even realize living so well was even possible for me. Wow, I didn't even notice that I've been kind of in the dark. I've been kind of under a storm cloud, and now the clouds have parted and the sunshine's here. When marketing can introduce hope, get you out of a funk and into a the possibilities headspace. That's nice. That's a good pleasurable feeling. That's fun. Number 8 is relief. Oh, wow, I didn't realize I could have put down that burden. Or, wow, I've been carrying around some really heavy shame, and getting to see that or hear that really made me feel better. And it also helps me to know that this burden I've been carrying, this shame I've been walking around with, there are others who have been dealing with that too. I'm actually not alone. I'm not alone. And I feel better about myself, and I feel more hopeful, and I feel more connected. That's pretty powerful marketing, and that sense of relief is quite pleasant. Number 9, permission. What if your marketing can affect someone like this? You don't have to do that thing you don't like. Or you could ask for, also get more because you deserve it. What's that? Because you're worth it. That's a slogan for something, right? That giving permission to you when you didn't know you could give it to yourself, or it hadn't occurred to you, or it gets you into that feeling like, oh yeah, I could do that. That is open to me. I am allowed. That's fun. That's a good feeling. And number 10, empowerment. Wow, I'm really feeling now aware of my own power, my own capacity, and I feel so motivated to go do that thing that I now believe I can do, but didn't realize I could before, or had been avoiding before because I hadn't had this belief in myself or this awareness of my own power. What if your marketing tapped someone into that headspace? That's fun. That's a good feeling. Yeah. So there are so many options to play with to make your content more fun and enjoyable to engage with. And this is a really important consideration, because the grind alone, just showing up, just putting it out there, is not fun. It's not fun to engage with. Now, don't get me wrong. I am really, really proud of you for getting out there and posting. It's absolutely true that just showing up at all is a marketing hurdle many don't clear, but you did. And that is absolutely an achievement in and of itself. And you should give yourself credit, and you should be proud of yourself, and you should reward yourself, and you should love on yourself for that. But it's also not enough to reach those engagement goals and turn those audience members into paying clients, because you also have to connect with people. And it's really hard to connect with people when all of your energy and attention is taken up with the grind. Like, I'm showing up just to show up, and the rest is up to them. And I'm just going to work really hard, and I'm not going to put my attention on how this is being received, on actually making connections with people, on actually inviting them in. And if that's you right now, you are approaching your marketing from survival mode, babe. Because right now, what's in your headspace when you're creating this is it's all about you and your effort and the grind and the hustle and hitting those frequency goals to check a box. But what we need to shift your focus and attention to is, how do we invite other people into this equation? How do we invite them in? How do we make your marketing a party that's worth showing up to, that people feel invited to, like they'd be welcome to, like they want to be at? So not this misery loves company vibes, not this come here and validate me, make this worth it, not this I'm working so hard, you owe it to me to show up. None of that is going to work. None of that is going to pull in the clients. None of that is going to get the engagement. Now, I'm saying this with love. This is what we would refer to in the squad as chili pepper feedback, or some tough love. But here, let me wrap you in a warm blanket. Let me hand you a cup of hot tea. Let me soothe your hurt feelings. Because if this is you, if this is how you've been showing up, it's probably because of some wounding that you, my friend, have experienced. And it's wounding that I have experienced. So let me make it about me for a second. I had this idea a while ago. It's been bopping around the brain since I taught that signature content class, and we talked through these incredible examples, and we played some examples, and we had so much fun dissecting them. But to be honest, this piece has taken me about 10 times the normal amount of time it takes me to write a blog post and get to the point where I have everything set up to record a podcast episode. And why? Because I had the idea, I had the inspiration, I had the time. And so why wasn't it happening? Why was it going so slowly? And to be honest, thinking about fun really spikes my anxiety. Fun is stressful to me right now as a concept. And then I'm tempted to go into full avoidance and shutdown. And by avoidance, I mean go work really hard at something else. Because like I mentioned at the top of the episode, when I was growing up, fun really wasn't a thing that I was taught was worth striving for, worth prioritizing, or that I was allowed to value. Hobbies were about achievement with a capital A and continual improvement on the road to excellence. And yes, I could find some fun in those experiences and this constant marathon to work harder and harder and hardest and be the best and see how much I could deny myself and my needs in the pursuit of greatness. But all that pressure can make fun a lot less fun. And it led to a lot of burnouts and crash outs and needing to go shut down and recover. Where I think, even though I still strive for greatness and I still would love to be a high achiever, these days I really want to balance it out so that the life I am in now and building towards is one where I get to be happy, where I get to experience pleasure, where I have fun every day, where I always have something to enjoy and look forward to, because I don't want to sell people on trusting me with their precious business, with helping to form them as a leader when they wouldn't want my life or they wouldn't want my vibes, you know? I want to walk my own talk. I want to get enough sleep. I want to have a social life. And I want a thriving business. And I want to bring warmth and creativity and nurturing and self-love and love for others and emotional capacity to welcome more people into my world. I want to bring all of that to my work. I don't want to bring, I'm working hard just to work hard. So at some point, I will reach some mythical, I worked hard enough for things to work out for me point. So I'm really rewiring my brain. I am reconditioning myself in a lot of ways. My defaults are just to hustle and grind. It's not to prioritize fun. This is something I'm working on within my own self and my own life and my own inner circle, but also in public, and encouraging other entrepreneurs, other CEOs, other unconventional business leaders to do this work with me, because I think a lot of you probably can relate to the whole gifted child ethos that I experienced as well. But anyhow, that was a tangent. I also want to bring up that part of the challenge of learning to value and explore fun and bring it into my work, part of the challenge for me is that I have some really deep psychic scars from being really punished for the things that brought me joy and pleasure, both within my toxic family of origin dynamics and later within romantic relationships that were abusive. Like, this was a common thread that if I was too happy, if I was enjoying myself too much, if I was too good at something, if people were noticing and giving me a few too many flowers, I learned through repetition, otherwise known as conditioning, that as soon as I really enjoyed something, it would be taken away or ruined or sabotaged or poisoned. And I know a lot of people who are drawn to my work also have trauma histories that are similar to mine. They also experienced similar punishment and abuse for letting their light shine. So if you are a traumatized babe like me, you may have learned through extensive conditioning that fun is dangerous. Fun is punished. Fun is an unworthy pursuit, and you may have learned that the safest route in these environments was to just simply preempt the punishment by punishing yourself, by working and working and working and striving and striving and striving, hoping someday it would eventually be enough. So now, even though hopefully you have escaped these toxic relationships, hopefully now you are in a better place, or you're making your exit plan, or even if you're not, if you're still in some toxic situations, you are learning and believing that you deserve better, even as you're working towards reconditioning yourself, allowing yourself to have fun, allowing yourself to value fun. It understandably might not come naturally to you. So no wonder your marketing feels stiff, closed off, and uninviting. No wonder you're showing up to your marketing all bundled up in walls and masks. But here's the thing that I really need you to hear. Your people, your aligned clients, your chosen community, they think it's fun to watch you have fun. When you are enjoying yourself, they take part in your joy. It warms their hearts to see you thriving and happy and expressing yourself and being bold and confident and ambitious. Those are the people you want in your business and your life, and you do not have to keep catering to your saboteurs, not in your marketing, not in your life. So if fun is not your current forte, don't worry. You can learn how to have fun. You can learn how to make your marketing fun. Fun to make, fun to experience, fun to engage with. All you need is some practice, repetition, reconditioning, new habits, new defaults. There is the life skill of noticing and replicating what brings you pleasure. Deciding your pleasure is worth prioritizing and clearing space in your calendar, in your emotional capacity, in your heart for it. There is the life skill of exploring your creativity and finding which modes of expression are the most enjoyable to you. There is the life skill of playing. No, this is not just for kids, because adults, especially entrepreneurs, especially business leaders, especially folks with big dreams for their business, playing is how you get to find out what you do like when you don't know what it is yet. Playing is how you keep discovering more and more things that bring you joy. Playing is a life skill, my friend, that must be cultivated and valued. Then there is the marketing skill of having so much fun in public, in your element, that other people want to join in. The I'll have what she's having effect. So there is also the business skill of turning marketing into an art project, not a chore. Now, all of these skills are yours for the taking. It just takes a lot of intentional practice and repetition and awareness of what your old patterns are, what we're rewiring, what new beliefs we're practicing until they become our new defaults. These are your skills for the taking as long as you are willing to practice. Practice the new thing. But if these are new skills, you are going to acquire them much, much, much faster with support, with community, with accountability, and with encouragement. The kind that you cannot get alone. It helps to have a good coach who can help you see your blind spots, give you perspectives and tools you hadn't thought of or even heard of before, and importantly, can help you see your progress. Everybody needs a coach. This is why there are coaches in sports. They help you get better than you could be without someone mirroring, reflecting back to you, and helping you to expand into your full potential. It also really helps to have a crew of awesome, interesting people that you're learning with. People who can inspire and cheer you on even when it's hard. People whose effort inspires you. A group who wants so much for you, who believes so much for you that they're going to hold you accountable to your own dreams and your own goals. Now, this combination, the coach, the community, we're doing it all together, we believe in each other, we cheer each other on. This is what you get in the squad, which is the club for big-hearted black sheep or rebel entrepreneurs with one-of-a-kind businesses bringing beauty, justice, and better quality of life to the world. Some are doing this through the creative arts. Some are doing this through mental health. Some are doing this through wellness. Some of our folks are doing this through music. Some are doing this through breaking glass ceilings into traditionally white male-dominated fields. Some are doing this through professional services, helping other incredible groundbreaking small businesses to thrive. There are so many different routes that people in the squad and in our extended network and community are taking. Really awesome, really diverse, really exciting people to be around. And all of you get me as your on-demand marketing director slash cheerleader, keeping you on track to meet your goals so that you keep telling the world about your incredible offer and you keep sustaining your marketing long enough for it to work. Because so many people don't understand the typical normal gap between effort and results, and they quit right before it gets good. And I'm not going to let that happen to you when you bring me on as your cheerleader. And in the squad, you also get an amazing community of entrepreneurs to hype you up, to co-work with you, and to inspire you on to new heights. And you get a ton of education on marketing, on leadership, on boundaries, on nurturing your creativity. You get a private community. So while we meet regularly once or twice a week on average, you also have this private community where you can ask questions, get feedback on your marketing, hype each other up, get community, get support for any challenges you're running into in your business. And all of that combined, the meetings, your new business besties, the archive of masterclasses, the awesome resources, the meditations, the breathwork sessions, the journaling, the marketing prompts, the challenges. All of that kind of adds up to 24/7 support whenever you need it, whenever you're running into a block in your business. We're there to cheer you on, to love on you, and to support you and encourage you. Now, the once a year sale price reduction on memberships is just going on for a couple more days, just through Monday, December 1st. Pricing returns back to normal on Tuesday, December 2nd. So now is the best time to join. And if you join in December 2025, you get the month of December 2025 for free, in addition to your year-long membership for all of 2026, making 2026 your most fulfilling, creative, expansive, exciting, profitable year of your business yet. So hit the link in the show notes wherever you're listening to get in on the sale price right now. You can also find the link to the blog post, which will have the links to the creators we referenced and some of their most fun examples of signature content. You'll also find other ways to keep up with me and get in touch if you want to chat about squad or working one-on-one or any of my other offers. You can book a coffee chat with me. I would love to meet you. Those are limited to one per person though, so please use the honor system when booking. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And if you're listening to this at 3 a.m., like some of you have been telling me, please go to bed, get a good night's sleep. Anyway, kiss, love you, talk to you soon. Bye now.